Alright guys, welcome back. I thought I'd put out my weekly video. We've been taking it in turns to really get some consistency going on this channel. So you guys who are subscribed to this channel are able to get up to 3 or 4 videos per week, depending on how active the markets are. We're trying to put out at least one video each per week, so that's myself, Akil and Charles as well. So if you subscribe to this channel over the next few months, you're going to cram in as much content and free information as you possibly can as we're rolling these videos out. So this week's video, it's live from today's session. There's a couple of opportunities setting up on the New Zealand dollar that I wanted to go over. So I'm going to give you an insight into a trading setup on that pair, and then after that we had a bit of a rant in the room, not a rant but a bit of a discussion on people's mindset and how you should really be treating trading as a business, or if you want to do something, you don't wait for those opportunities to arise, you can actually create those opportunities. And I go over some personal background from my story, not only in this business but in my previous businesses as well. So hopefully give you an insight into a bit more into my story, and to let you know that in a real trading room it's not always about being in a trade as well. So sometimes we have discussions. We were talking about curtains and blinds today, but I thought I'd put this video out. I think it's very valuable anyway. Sit back, enjoy the analysis, enjoy the rant at the end, and go out and get some British sunshine. If you're in England, it's beautiful weather. It's like 35 degrees out there today, so I'm going to go and spend the rest of the day out there sunning myself, waiting for the kids to come home. So take care. Until next time, I'll see you then. Yeah, so we're still bullish. New structure high. Okay, so new structure high, outside return, new structure high, outside return, new structure high. So this is the last outside return because we didn't put in a new structure high until we came here. Right? So until we violate this most recent outside return, this is still a valid trend continuation trading opportunity for me. And it just so happens that as we came down to this level, there was this cipher formation. So we're looking at X to A to B, B to C, CD completion down at 70.47. And I said to myself, well, let's just check where my stop's got to go here. It's quite a high ATR on this pair. I know my stop's got to go below the 113. So I was looking at 69.31. So I know that I can't enter until 69.31 till 70.31, sorry. So 70.31 was where I set my limit, which was just below. I set it just below the 71.31 level, and I got filled this morning in my sleep. It did come down, and I didn't actually get filled where I wanted to get filled. I actually got filled at 24. Okay, so I actually got filled a bit lower, which is good. But I'm under 100 pips of stop. Under 100 pips of stop. We didn't hit targets yet, so still valid. I entered at a better price, so I'm going to get this much risk for this much potential reward. If we bring on our fib retracement, that's not a fib retracement. Bring on our fib retracement tool, we're talking about this much of reward to target 1. So you're going to see that it's at least a 1-to-1, which is pretty good for a cipher. Pretty good for a cipher. 1-to-1, just over a 1-to-1. And I'll be taking 2 targets. So I'll be taking target 2 up at the 618. Up at 72.06. We know that's 7200 even handle. That's 7200 even handle is respected. So I've got my target ones just below that level. So that's what I'm in. I'm in this trade. I can't take anything else on this pair, on this account. If we drop down to the 60, I know lots of you guys were looking at a trend reversal up here where we had this head and shoulders scenario going on. We've broken close, we tested the neckline, we broke down, and as you can see, since we broke to the downside, market's been moving very harmonically. You can see we've come up, we've tested, previous structure support becomes resistance, right? We break down, we come up, previous support becomes resistance. We push down, we push up, previous support becomes resistance. Push down, right? See this? So if you're looking to get short, and I would be mindful of the fact that looking left, we've got previous structure support, okay, this level down here, 7 flat. I would be mindful of that, but if you're looking to get short, then I'd look for a pullback up into previous structure support, which should become resistance. Now, if market pushes up to that level, you can start weighing out whether or not you're going to get that one-to-one risk-reward aggressive and building out that kill zone. Now, you can see that if you bring on a fib retracement tool, we've got a 618 lining up right at that previous structure support level. So let's clear this off. Let's clear that off so you can see that. So we've got a little kill zone here where we've got a 618 retracement, which we know is the golden mean, right? Does that give us an aggressive one-to-one? So if we bring on our data box and look at the ATR is about 22 pips. So we have to be 22 pips above this most recent high. So that's going to put us at 71.40, 71.44, 71.46. So 71.46, 22 pips. If we were to enter at this level here, and shoot for a retest of the lows, is that going to give us an aggressive one-to-one? Well, no, we just need to enter a little bit higher. So we need price action to push up into this zone here, and we can potentially enter anywhere in this area here. Anywhere in this pink zone to give us that aggressive one-to-one for a trend continuation trading opportunity, right? So I'm already building out this kill zone. I've got 618 retracement as well. This would be the area that I look at first. It doesn't mean I can get involved here because the outside return is still up to here, right? So this is my kill zone. This is my kill zone where I'm allowed to get involved, right? But this is the lowest area I can get involved. So this is the first area I can get involved, but potentially I can get involved anywhere up to this area here. And the higher market pushes up, the better entry I'm going to have. And what I'll be looking for is not violating these previous structure highs. Let me just get rid of some of this to make it a bit clearer. Whoops. So not violating this previous structure high. Wrong arrow. This high. RSI to go oversold in this zone. And then it's that if-then thought process. If market pushes up, does RSI go overbought? If RSI goes overbought, do we get a lower low, lower close candle? Enter next bar market if we do. If we don't violate this high, and you might find that risk reward ends up being something like this. But you see what I'm doing? I'm every time I know that I'm right more than I'm wrong through historic testing. And every time I'm right, I win more than I lose when I'm wrong. We're here. But at the moment, we're just in no man's. We're waiting for this move to finish. We may just get straight. We may just pull straight down to this level here. We may just pull straight down to this previous structure support level, and you may be looking for a counter trend trading opportunity at this level. And if you do, you might find that you look for a double bottom. You might be waiting for a double bottom, RSI to go oversold, bullish divergence on the RSI on the retest, not violating these lows here. If you put in a lower low, lower close than this level, what can you expect if you violate these lows? Further continuation to the downside, yes. Yeah. But for counter trend traders, you'll be looking at this level saying, okay, CTS, I'm just going to build up my score as we get to this level. You might find you get an ABCD. You might bring on fib extensions. Got a 1618 down there as well. Okay. 1618 extension, ABCD formation. We know we've got our cipher completion a little bit higher, but at that level, you may give yourself a few points for that and your CTS score. And then you may look for RSI to go oversold, a retest of this previous structure looking left, structure support, RSI go oversold. Then you wait for a retest. On the retest, you want to see some bullish divergence on the RSI. And if you get that, you might choose to enter a next bar market, or you may be a bit more conservative and wait for a break and close above the retracement, which will set you up for a potential 2618 trading opportunity. You'll be looking for a pullback down into that 618 and then look to ride this up that way. So lots and lots to look out for on this. Lots of different trading opportunities on the horizon, whether you're counter trend, trend continuation, patterns, right? There's something for everyone. I'm actually in this big cipher formation, so I can't get involved in anything else, but lots there to pay attention to. So keep your eye on that, and we'll see how that plays out. I did a quick periscope before the room opened. I had a walk around, and it's absolutely glorious weather out there. And I just sort of wandered about for the morning, and I really just thought, you know, how I don't want to say lucky, because, you know, luck. I guess it is luck. It's lucky that we're in a world now where we've got the power and the technology to be able to create an opportunity good enough to be able to basically do anything you want for money, right? I mean, we can literally, the time we're living in now with the technology available, we can literally start a business and compete with the big corporations straight away from our own living room. Now that is lucky, right? We have we can type a question into Google, and we're able to get an answer within seconds to any query we might have. So that's lucky, right? But I was thinking, you know, it's great to be able to just wake up, spend, you know, have breakfast with family and stuff, and when the weather's like this, you just walk around and just think, you know, wow, it's great, amazing. Yeah, and I look back, and really just when I think about it, it's just to do with surrounding yourself with the right people. That is it. Networking, building a network. It really catapults your success in anything. If you wanted to be a baker, or a caterer or a cake maker or whatever, you would surround yourself. If you was to go and sit next to I don't know any good bakers. Eileen probably knows some good craft bakers or chefs, but if you was to sit with them every day, you'd become very good very quickly, wouldn't you? Because you're learning. They've been through all the pain. They've learned all the bad, all the mistakes, so you don't have to. Johan says you become what you surround yourself with. Absolutely. Ian says, I had to work in next to very hot aircraft engines. It was like hitting 41 degrees. I sweated for 10 hours. Ian, think of the fitness. Eileen says, I do, and they are knowledgeable, amazing people. They certainly are. Gary says, this is why I do my best to get in here every day. Yeah, when I look back, I just think it's purely down to the fact that I just surrounded myself with, you know, engulfed myself in like-minded people. And like you guys in here, if someone's got a question, you say, oh, I don't really know how to do this. Instead of searching the internet, you just type it into the chat bar and someone's got an answer. Usually Tony. Usually Tony, but someone's got an answer, right? Because we're all trying to help each other. It's successful people want to help others. So if you've got a question, people in this room want to help you. It's funny because people look at breaks and holidays the wrong way. They really do. It's like anyone has more than 1 or 2 holidays, you sort of say, you're always away, you know, you're always on holiday. But really, you know, that's great, isn't it? That's how it should be. And I don't know if I told you guys last week, but next year I'm gonna put a calendar on my wall and I'm gonna book out between 8 and 12 weeks for just dedicated holiday where I don't do anything. Probably 8 weeks of break days, and that can be weekends, weekdays, because it makes no difference to me. But just a total of 8 weeks worth of holiday, and then I'm going to work around that. I'm going to make sure that they work. Make sure that I dedicate time to holidays. And I think everyone should do that, because I think you will find a way to make that work, no matter what situation you're in. If you change that mindset of you know, trying to take holidays and fit them in when you can. If you just say to yourself, no, actually, even if I haven't got the money for these holidays yet, I'm taking this holiday. I'm going to book that time off, that time off, that time off. And you look at that calendar and you think, well, I've got to get that money for that holiday. I've got to be able to have that time off. I've got to put this system in place so that I'm not required during those few days, even if it's a few days, because you just have to make it work. And you might think that sounds crazy, but when you hear, you know, when I don't know if you know my story, but when I started my business, before I started my business at 22, for years I was saying, you know, I'm going to do this. I can go out on my own. I know that I'm going to be able to do it on my own, but I never did. I just kept putting it off, and then we found out that, you know, I was pregnant with my son. Sorry, we're going off trading a little bit, but I've got my eye on the charts. There's not too much going on, so we've got that news out as well. So, but we had my son, and I wasn't ready to be a dad. I didn't think I was ready to be a dad. I didn't want a child until I had, you know, what I thought was a stable environment to bring a child up in. And what I found is, after a few months, we were managing just fine. And no, I had never had any training on how to be a dad. No one told me how to bath a child or change a child, or, you know, how to be a dad, how to react when he cries or anything like that. I had no training at all, but I was managing purely because I was just driven by the love for the being, for the child, right, my son. So if love can, you know, if you're passionate about something, you love something, and it can, and that alone can get you through and help you manage, then I knew at that time that I knew I was great at what I did. I knew I could change the you know, I knew I could make a change for the better. I knew I had what it takes, and I loved it, and I was passionate about it. So I thought, well, you know, okay, well, what will make me actually do this? And we'd just taken on a big mortgage. We had a big mortgage in a house. We had to upsize our house because we had a baby, and it was Christmas, and it was coming to Christmas time. You know, that's sometimes a depressing time of year because you're thinking, oh, more outlay, more presents we've got to buy for people, more financial struggle. Just had a child, you know, and I thought, well, what will make me, what will make me do this and stop just talking about it? And we were sitting there over the Christmas holidays and was wrapping up presents, and I thought, I'm just going to hand in my notice now, like at the worst possible time. And my wife looked at me like I was mental. My wife looked at me like I was absolutely crazy, but that's what I did. Handed in my notice that day, or the next day. Got a phone call back from the office to say, Jay, what are you doing? You know, you can't leave. Are you mad? You've just bought a bigger house, and you've got a mortgage and a new kid, and you've got Christmas and January blues on the way, and really trying to hone me in and control me and put fear into me. And I said, no, that's it. I'm definitely doing it. So when January came around, I was driven. That was it. I had to make it work. There was no, hopefully this works. You just manage. You just manage. Trust me. You just manage.